Hi, great friends. This is Soraya, and thank you so much for being here. So, this is a portrait that I did a couple of days ago, and I've been doing a whole bunch of them. I've been getting obsessed with it actually. And what I'm going for is I am going for emotion. Now, this is part of my 100-day project, and I am simply delving into my visual language, what is emotive to me. So, obviously, this is going to be very subjective. This is going to be so personal. And what I decided to do is I decided to use a very limited color palette, as you can see, and just focus on two things: values and emotion. Now, generally, I tend to go for color, color, color. And for me, it would be so easy for me to, grab my reds and my yellows and my oranges and try to convey emotion in that way. Now, of course, I do have some reds here. It's not like completely devoid of all color. But if you look at this, it is very, just a very limited palette. And I was just simply going for trying to convey different sorts of emotions without going to my go to, which is color. So, what I did here is I did a very quick sketch, which is how I started the portrait I just showed you. But I just went in there, just did a quick sketch, and then I put some of my dictionary pages that I had already soaked in tea. So, and then I did a little bit of marks on my collage. So there's a little bit of color there. But as you can see, it's just very, very, just a basic sketch with, I think, my 2H pencil, and I just stuck some collage down. That's it. I didn't do anything else. Now, what I'm going to do, just because I saw this, like, can you see the ink thing? Like, it's just some ink circles from this, from the top of it. I'm just going to, like, make some marks here. And I'm just experimenting. I'm just kind of, like, seeing, like, hey, let me see what kind of strange and bizarre things I can make happen. So what I'm going to do first is I've laid down this collage here, and I think what I'm going to do is I am going to use my coffee colored re-inker here, and I'm just going to, like, put it over here, just to kind of like do the push part of the face. Now, if you don't have this ink, re-inker, this is Ranger, you can just use like your, whatever darker color you have. Like, I wouldn't recommend you go and purchase anything. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to kind of go like so, and like I want this to be like so loosey goosey, like, I don't want tight. And I'm trying not to jinx myself, you guys, because every time I say I don't want to, I don't want to make things tight, I end up like fixating on it and making it very, very tight. I don't know why that happens, but anyways. Yeah, so I'm just gonna like put some collage down here. And because I soaked all of this collage in a tea bath, it's just so delicious. Like, I mean, it's so much better than using just dictionary pages for me, anyways. Ugh, I can't get over it, you guys. And I could use other stuff too, because like I do have like just different bits and bobs of found papers, junk mail, letters, etc. So I might do that, but some of those papers they're like heavier stock, so I don't know if I want to mess around with it right now. And I'm trying to work like fast because I don't want to think too much. I just want to kind of like just lay down stuff, especially in this like, initial couple of layers here. And so I had just had some red, like a brick red on my palette, so I'm just gonna make some splatters here. So do you see how messy and just it's a big mess right now, which is what I want. I want it to be messy. I'm going for like really limited color palette. So I'm using my coffee, probably going to use my ink, which is like a Payne's gray. So it's like a black. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use my cashew, and then I might use a red. Like, but it's going to be a very dull red, like a brick red. I'm not going to use any kind of bright colors. And I'm trying to even do away with the red, you guys. I'm really trying to kind of, oh, and my burnt sienna, obviously, but I'm just trying to kind of keep this limited color palette going here. I don't know. I do want to reach for some bolder colors, but I'm going to not do it. And I'm like trying to work really fast. Because I find that when I don't stop and think about everything and belabor every decision that I make, it just ends up having more energy and emotion. So that's kind of what I'm going for. I don't want to like overthink because then everything gets too tight. And I'm just going to lay down some of this collage here. And actually, you guys, I'm going to actually lay down some collage over the eye. Like, I think that's going to be kind of interesting. And I'm going for bizarre, weird, interesting. I'm going for that kind of vibe. So even I've got all these like pieces of paper here, so I'm just gonna kind of see like what I can put that would be unexpected. So I'm actually just gonna cover that whole eye up right there. And then I'm just gonna kind of dip that in there. You know, that's gonna be the nose at some point. See, like I didn't even sketch out the nose here, so I'm just kind of just being like really loose here. Just dragging some of that into the hair. Just because, you know, I want some cohesion. I'm sorry about that noise, you guys. That's the garbage can. The garbage people. And there we go. And I'm going to like put some of this blue in here because I want some variation. So like all my colors, they're like very neutral, like and you can set the parameters, like, you know, if you tend to gravitate towards neutrals, then a good thing to do would be to experiment with a lot of bright colors. But I generally tend to go for the bright colors, so that's why I am trying to focus on my neutrals to strengthen it. So this would be very personal how you want to approach this. Like just say you generally gravitate towards all the neutrals and you have a difficulty with bright colors, then yeah, I would definitely say maybe switch what I'm doing, switch it around. That seems to be a good starting point. And you guys, like when I have leftover paint on my palette, I'll like drag it into the dress or, you know, the hair or whatever. But do you see how messy this is looking? Like it's so like just luscious and delicious and juicy and a big mess, which is what I want. I want it to be messy. And there we go. So I'm not too concerned, like, you know, I might need to move my eye. I'm probably gonna keep the eyes, but you know, I mean the nose is gonna be over there. I might need to move my chin a little bit. That's all okay. I'm not really concerned about that right now. Do I want to put a little bit more? Let me see here. I've got some delicious collage. Oh, I do like that. This is just brown paper, and this is actually like one of my like own handmade collage pieces. So I think I'm just gonna put it like right over here maybe. And it's on brown paper. I'm loving that. Just kind of a weird kind of a mark. Let's see here. Do I want to put no. Let me see. And okay, you guys, I am going to allow this to dry. I'm just dragging that over here. And I'm just going to allow this to dry, and then I'm going to come back and see what I can how I can proceed. But if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much. Oh, you know what, you guys? I've been doing this. This is my I actually have a set of Stabilo pencils, and it's got different colors. So I'm gonna use this red Stabilo here to just make some interesting kind of things happening. Like, I'm not even gonna really think about it too much, you guys. I'm just gonna kind of I'm just gonna kind of do you see like how I'm not even like thinking about it? I'm just like going to town. That's kind of the mood I want. That's kind of what I'm going for. I don't want to overthink stuff at all. And I don't want to overdo it. I do tend to have a heavy hand. Sometimes I need to stop and not like, because sometimes like a little bit of something has more weight than if I put too much of it. And okay, you guys. Now what I'm gonna do is I am gonna bring this up closer just so you can just see like it's looking kind of really kind of crazy and juicy and a lot of stuff going on, but that's what I want. So I'm gonna leave this, let it dry, and come back to it. So if you've watched all the way to the end, you guys, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video.